Welcome to this third day of the Chinggis Khan 2016 Judo Grand-Prix here in Ulaanbaatar, a city that is nestled in a valley actually surrounded by hills. It's beautiful here. Ulaanbaatar is the capital city of Mongolia, and once again it plays host to this Judo Grand-Prix, and what brilliant hosts they are. Their depth of fighters here is impressive to say the least, and the judo has been absolutely superb. 5 more weight categories on this final day, light heavies to heavies, and Sheldon and I looking forward so much to this last day of competition and to some more great judo. Sheldon, welcome. He's going to welcome all the fights on, and I'm going to put it straight away across to you. Sheldon, welcome.
And a very warm welcome to everyone at home. Thanks very much, Neil. The first of the contest is going to be the bronze medal contest in the under 90 kilo category. Firuddin Dadashov of Azerbaijan faces Odgu Setsensengel of Mongolia. It's Dadashov in the white judogi, Odgu in blue.
Well, they've been quite impressive, this Azerbaijan team. It's not the usual ones that we've been seeing over the last 4 years of qualification. So good to see fresh faces out there, and that's the beauty of having these tournaments. Even though we're leading up to the Olympic Games, the Olympic qualification is all over, but we've got some of the Mongolian national team, the Olympic team here, but a lot of new faces.
The judo's been attractive, and I suppose in a way we shouldn't be surprised. But in the absence of all the big names, you just come here with the expectation of thinking, no, it's just going to be run-of-the-mill. It hasn't been at all. In particular with Lee from Korea and Jung yesterday, we were talking about absolutely beautiful techniques, really lovely. And we had more of the same today. So
we did. Some amazing judo, and also some good transition into Newaza as well, some good transition onto the ground. But the thing for me, it's been all action and not so many shidos for passivity, and that's exactly what we want to see them do. They want to try, they're going to go for the ippon. 3 different ways of winning ippon or getting ippon on the ground, and that is by arm locking your opponent, strangling them for a submission, and that's exactly what Odku is trying here. He was trying to hook onto the arm, then he'd fall back onto it to try and straighten it to get the submission. And the support, look at the support there. This crowd, absolutely amazing. Every time anybody flinches or does something nice, they're so appreciative.
He was talking about the 3 ways. I'm sure he was about to finish off on the Osai Waza as well, pinning your opponent flat on their back for 20 seconds or 15 seconds if you've already scored Wazari. And then I'll need Neil to talk about the various waza when standing up.
Yeah, well, of course, we all our sport starts from a standing position, so the main aim is to throw them onto their back with impetus. And there's some of the Olympic team there that are just out there watching their teammates. They still managed to put a full 56. When you think that we have 14 weight categories, men and women, they still managed to put 56 fighters out, the Mongolians, and a lot of those are juniors. 1 or 2, like I say, of the Olympic team that just wanted a couple of extra contests.
And they were competitive in every weight.
Yeah, well, they have been. Just look at the medals that they've won.
You were talking about a fighter that you'd fought at the World Championships from Mongolia, and there is a fighter that one of our mates fought at a World Championships. Neil Eckersley had come to terms with Batolga, who is now coaching here. He's been coaching the Mongolian team for quite a while, or at least on their coaching staff.
Yeah, I was asking the coaching staff about what the system is. Obviously, everybody's asking me, and they're saying, how can they be so competitive, and how can they have so many medal hopes at the Olympic Games with only 3 million people in the country? There's a beautiful wazari there from a Sodisura Komigoshi from Dadshov. And Dadshov now holding down. He's got to hold him now because he got the Wazari. He only needs to hold him for 20 seconds, but Odku manages to get out. Now Odku on top. Odku is the one that's attacking in Newaza. So now going for the Jujigatami again. He's not quite onto the arm there. Crowd could see it. They knew what he was going after. So 2 scores for the Aussie. Dadashov has a Wazari and a Yuko on the board. There's the Sodisura Komigoshi there. Goes off the sleeve. And anything that rolls onto the back is a Wazari. It warrants a Wazari. Anything that throws with force onto the points of the shoulder blades, and then they'll get a Nippon. Nice change of direction. That's going to be another Yuko there. Kouchigari, change of direction. Saw that a couple of times, and I think this is going to be it now. Yushiro Kesugatami or Kazure Kesugatami. Now that's been classed by the Kodokan as Kazure. Can he hold him now? He just gets it. Just gets the 15 seconds. Wazari Owazeti Ippon, and it's all over.
It was just unravelling a little bit there at the end, but there was sufficient enough control because had there not been, Odku would have been up and off his back, and that was the important thing. He wasn't. He was still wriggling snake-like out of that, but Dadashov managing to hang on there, and he takes the first medal of this final block on the final day of competition at the Chinggis Khan Grand Prix in Ulaanbaatar. Firidin Dadashov of Azerbaijan. Neil.
Yeah, third medal that Azerbaijan have with this relatively new team. It is a Grand Prix. The Grand Prix Grand Slams are big point scoring for world rankings. What it actually does in the first 2 years of qualification, and if you've got to think of it over 4 years, so if you've got 4 years of qualification, the first 2 years it gives them ranking, higher world ranking, which gets them seeded for the next event. So each event they do, they can get a higher seeding. And then when it comes to 2 years before it all starts, all the fun and games start.
We've got a second bronze medal coming up now. And the way that things have worked out in the draw, 2 Chinese are going to go head-to-head. Eri Hembubatu of China faces teammate Bu Rigida. They're about to come out, take to the tatami. I think Eri Hembubatu has got the edge here. We had a look at him earlier on, and he showed some nice judo. He came unstuck in the... Where was it? Who sorted him out earlier on? It was Gantolga. Gantolga Altenbanger, and he's made his way to the final. Eri Hembubatu had to work his way through the repechage. He got through that safely, and now here he is up against his teammate.
Well, you know, they've obviously sent these two out to have a look at them. I mean, one on the world rankings there, Bu is on the world rankings, 111 in the world rankings, so not really important. But the big thing about this is that all of their world rankings are going to go up because they'll, like I say, get big points here, and it'll put their world rankings up, start them on the process for Olympic qualification for Japan, 4 years' time, 2020.
Bu defeated Dadashov in the quarterfinal, the Azeri. So, you know, we just saw how useful a fighter he was.
Yeah, I quite like Bu, actually. The fight that I saw,
yeah.
Hagva Soren had his number, but it'll be interesting. I'm hoping that they go full out for it.
Right, Eri Hembubatu in the white judogi, Bu in blue. Quite often, very tricky contests when both fighters are from the same country and they have to go head-to-head at a Grand Prix or a Grand Slam.
Well, I tell you the interesting thing, Sheldon, is I was asking about the names. Erihembu Batu is virtually a Mongolian name. This actual Chinese team is right on the border of Mongolia, actually.
They're all in
so
there.
So they're all there. Oh, look at that. Straight in there, wasn't it? Big Ko Soto, Erihembu Batu, straight into the Kesagatami, and I think that's going to be it, isn't it? Makura turns it into Makura there. Hand goes over the leg. And Boo didn't have a chance.
Well, he only had to hold him for the 15 seconds. Initially, the referee signalled Ippon, but at the same time, Erihembu Batu moved into the Osaikomi. He had a better feeling than the referee did. He hung on there just in case it wasn't Ippon. That's the way it turned out. Well, there's an inner and an outer Mongolia.
Yes.
And all this lot are from inner Mongolia.
Ah, is that right? Is that how it is?
I mean, they're all chatting with, and their coach. You see the couple of the coaches, they moved from Mongolia to coach.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Well, there's a terrific relationship between
it is
the two
interesting,
anyway.
isn't it? I mean, that when you have a look at the borders of Mongolia, of course, they are on the Chinese border and the Russian border. Ko Soto chased the Ko Soto down, followed it down there straight directly into Kesagatami, Makura Kesagatami. Tried the Ko Soto first on the other side, so switched legs, both flanks.
You can understand why the referee gave Ippon originally, because he was on that side, so he couldn't see the back, and that's why he gave the Ippon, but it was Wazari. And then he got a bit confused with his hands. What to do?
Well, it happens so quickly, doesn't it? It really does. And
see, this is a much better look for us.
Yeah, well, you can see there. It's clearly a Wazari, absolutely. Clearly a Wazari. Our big advantage, of course, is that we get to see the replays in several different places and from different directions.
And the other thing is, we're not in the middle having to do it in front of a crowd.
Absolutely.
With people watching us. Right, we've got the final of the under 90 kilo category now. Khlagvasuren Ulaanbaatar faces Gantolga Altenbanger of Mongolia. Both Mongolian fighters here. Nice head-to-head. I think this is going to have a little bit more bite than we've seen earlier on. Final.
Yeah, Khlagvasuren is one of the ones qualified. World rank number 8 and in for matches here. Gantolga ranked 69 in the world, not qualified for the Olympic Games. So he's got something to prove here. He'll want to do it in front of his home crowd as well.
William Roske.
That's a confident walk,
he's
isn't
got
it?
a strut.
Yeah, there's a very confident walk out there.
William Roske of Cuba is the referee in the middle for this one. Well, there's no doubt that Gantolga Altenbanger knows what's ahead of him. He's on the national squad. He will have practiced endlessly with Khlagvasuren, and he would have gone head-to-head in their national competitions on several occasions before.
Yeah, this junior and senior team all train together, and then if the coach says it's okay, then the cadet team comes up as well, cadet members.
Roll around,
they do, yeah. But it is a team, and that's, I think, the answer to any of you out there that are wondering, what is the difference? And I'm just saying that they are an absolute unit. Got to go. Likes the cross grip. Gantolga using the Yamarashi grip for the Sianagi. But you've got to go straight away. You've got to attack straight away. Khlagvasuren, look how he uses that inside grip there, using the elbow just to make sure that he gets the grip that he wants, and he's taking the elbow out and then back in. That direction hand, that Saruti hand there, so important. And it's interesting that you see one of the Mongolians doing this, because, of course, they have so many different grips that they can do with that hand. It can go under the armpit, over the top of the shoulder. But that's a typical Japanese way of doing it.
Gantolga was flirting with the mat edge there and spent that little bit too long off the competition area, and he picked up a Shido.
You can tell, can't you? They are used to each other. I mean, obviously you can tell that. They're kind of almost familiar. Yeah, and the attacking, it's when it comes to the attack rate, they haven't put in any real major attacks there. They're kind of afraid to go in.
Yeah, it's all very tight at the moment. Who's going to open up first? Well, Gantolga is at a slight disadvantage, having picked up a single Shido, but I don't think that's going to make any real material change to his fighting style.
No, I think that can change, can't it? You know, with just one more Shido going on there, Hagva Seren evens it all up. Second one can make a difference. Now look at that grip now. He's gone underneath the armpit. This particular grip, of course, is so familiar with their form of wrestling here in Mongolia. The jackets have much shorter sleeves. In fact, they don't have sleeves, really, so they have to hold underneath or over the top, or the belt. And that's where the unusual gripping tactics of the Mongolians come from. But then they've also adapted traditional style as well, like I say, sleeve and lapel.
Half the contest gone. Single Shido against Gantolga.
Yeah, I would say as well, it's Gantolga that looks the most dangerous to me. I mean, he looks to me as if we're saying that, and Hagva Seren takes him backwards. So he just changed direction, didn't he? It was Gantolga that came in, gets taken back, and you can see there he just shakes his head at it. But a good Yuko on the board, Hagva Seren.
Yeah, because up until that point, when they'd got close and taken that grip under the armpit, it was Gantolga who was, attempting to off-balance Hagva Seren, and he'd done that on a couple of occasions, hadn't come up with a score. And then all of a sudden, Gantolga had that little change of direction. He sold him with the Seoinage in one direction. Then
this is almost Randori, Sheldon. It looks more like Randori to me. And every other match that I've seen, when it's been all Mongolian final, they've been going hammer and tong at it. And these two aren't. So I wonder if they're friends. Could be.
Yeah, well, they're definitely nullifying all of the attacking options. A single Shido is the only score.
Yeah, it's Gantolga that's got to go forwards. He's the one that's got to take the initiative here. He wants underneath. He's trying for the Sasai off it. He'll have a Kosoto onto the leg as well.
He does look very fit as well. There's been no hint of, bending at the waist and taking a bit of a break. They really look in good condition. It's the first time that either of them have taken any time to get back up and onto their feet.
Yeah, into the last minute now. Still looking for the inside grip. Drop Seoinage there from Hagva Seren. Ooh, that was close as well. That was almost on there. Gantolga just latches onto the neck. Now Hagva Seren goes in for it. Can he get the leverage? Just the feed in there. He fed the jacket into the hand, but sometimes if you don't do it quickly enough, it goes across the face, the hand. It's got to go underneath the neck. Well, I'm sure that Gantolga will be really happy, actually, with silver medal here. He's going to be very happy. It'll be the first time he's ever been in a Grand Prix tournament. He's got to get a penalty, hasn't he? We're just saying here in the commentary position, he's defending like mad here, Hagva Seren. And he's going to get a second penalty. It should be a third one, really.
He's shut up shop now.
Yeah. 8 seconds left. last go. Gantolga goes in. Sumagaeshi.
Call the Osai Komi. It's not going to make any difference. He does turn out of it in the end anyway.
Gold and silver to Mongolia, as expected.
Ulaanbaatar Ulaanbaatar taking the gold. Gantolga Ulaanbaatar took the silver.
Yeah, it's quite obvious that they knew each other very, very well, trained together all the time.
Just 21, Gantolga. It's the second, just the second. The second gold medal for Ulaanbaatar, the second medal for Gantolga. He picked up a bronze medal previously.
Yeah,
good effort.
You kind of forget, you see them out on the circuit, don't you, for 4 years. You tend to think of them as older than they are, but... So here's the highlights. Dropped Seoinage, change of direction for Kouchi. We've seen that an awful lot of this competition. There's the Seoinage, there's the change of direction. We saw that in the final yesterday in the under 81 kilo final, and that one was pretty spectacular. So it was by design, that wasn't by accident. Followed it through to the ground. There's the Seoi, drives him with the Kouchi, gets the Yuko.
Well, we've got the first of the bronze medal matches now in the under 78 kilo category. Batbilget Myagmastend of Mongolia faces Park Hyu-jin of Korea. It's Batbilget in the white judogi and Park in blue.
Well, I'm really glad that you're pronouncing these names, Sheldon.
Mongolia's a nightmare, to be honest. We love coming here because the reception is incredible. It's just everything. Really, really warm and friendly people. And
it is.
It's
absolutely. Yeah, no, it is. It's amazing. Amazing place. Batbilget then of Mongolia fighting Park of Korea. Park of Korea, 37, not age 37. She's ranked 37 in the world.
And the referee in the middle for this one is Alexander Berezevnikov. I like him. He's quite a witty character, Berezevnikov.
So Batbilget is in white. Could it be another medal for Mongolia?
Well, we're going to see their number one in a while. Khlamded Purevjagl. Park, well, she's a little way down the pecking order.
Yeah, Purevjagl, of course, just back, as you pointed out, after having a baby. Park here is very one-sided, so typically Korean in her stance. Big right arm over the top, very upright posture. Right leg forward, feeds the leg through, and then tries for the Uchimata. Look how tall she is. There's the arm, and it's going to be all over. Yeah. Well, she landed with the arm then, Sheldon, and it was just all set. Big Oguruma, I think it was. Harai or Oguruma. We'll have a look at that again, right the way over the top there for brilliant ippon.
Park Eugene picks up the first of the bronze medals in the under 78 kilo category. She's just a few points behind her teammate Yoon Hyun-ji, 37 and 31 on the IGF World Ranking list.
Well, haven't they come forward as well? The Koreans, the women and the men's team, absolutely incredibly. The last World Championships they did amazing. So big Oguruma, look at that. Big Surigoshi Oguruma. That's the only way I can explain that. It was halfway and in between. Arm over the back. Gets the full rotation. Good sleeve as well, because that Kazushi, she pulls it right the way across her chest. And so, therefore, she gets the rotation.
Yeah, there's nowhere for the Mongolian to go there. She gets wrapped up, and there's that big leg, and she gets wheeled over. It was a good technique from Park Eugene. Right, we've got the second of the bronze medal contests coming up now. Ganbold Sarangu of Mongolia faces Munk Erdene Uranjagol. It's Ganbold in the white judogi, Munk Erdene in blue.
Well, it's Munk Erdene that's actually on the world rankings, just at 100. Ganbold isn't, of course.
Anto Progmet of Croatia is the referee in the middle for this one. He's had a good competition. Some of the Korean team watching on.
Well, this is a great place, isn't it, to perform in front of your home crowd, because it's a very knowledgeable crowd out there. Love their judo.
See, next year it will be completely different here. The numbers are down. You've got the Olympics coming up, and a lot of the countries are concentrating on their preparations for that. But this time next year, we're in early July. This will be one of the last preparatory events for the World Championships.
And also, there'll be so many countries that will want to do it for that exact reason. Yeah, you're right.
So there's just one dip. There's always a dip, and then you start going back up. Last year it was packed here. It was absolutely wonderful.
Tried the change of direction there, Ganbold.
Yeah, just face planted. Munk Erdene, unfortunately. No love lost between these two either.
I don't think so. A little bit of a domestic going on here.
Ooh, clever. Almost stepped off and that.
Yeah, it was almost a Yoko Wakari, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's penalised for that negative grip. Just blocking out. Signal from Anto Progmet in the middle.
Was it not Ganbold that just did those two attacks, though?
It could have been,
yeah.
But she got tired and just held her opponent off, and he saw that. That's came into it.
Yeah, definitely. Yoko Wakari's technique,
it was hers.
It
was harsh, but he called what he saw, and he decided that she just held off Munk Erdene for a little bit too long.
Well, some good attacks now. Munk Erdene just starting to open up, and Ganbold in defensive posture. She's in danger of getting a second penalty.
Naden Tufshinbaya on the right-hand side of the screen there. I didn't see him sneaking in. He owes me a few tugrit. I can collect later. Wasn't that long ago that he was here lighting up the crowd last year, I think it was.
Well, did you say that it's going to be his third Olympics coming up?
Well, did he won in Beijing, he was second in London.
Yes.
He's rather hoping that he'll be on the podium again.
Third Olympics.
Yeah. He's got stickability. Every time you think that he's done and dusted, they find another roll of tape, and out he comes.
Nice Uchimata there. Munkaden. She's the one that's putting in the big attacks. There's definitely going to be another Mongolian on the rostrum here. Pura Jagal is in the final. Could she get the gold? Got a work cut out actually against Brigitte Matic.
Yeah, I just fancy that there's a physical dimension to the contest. You're looking at someone who's 29 as opposed to someone who's 19. There's I remember, I can't remember who was telling me when I was about 15 about adult strength, because I kept saying these guys are too strong. It wasn't that they were that much more skillful, but they had adult strength, and I just couldn't cope with it.
Totally different.
I think it's possible that Purev Jagal may overpower Matic in that respect. We'll have a look anyway, because that's coming up next.
Match, yeah.
2 penalties picked up by Ganbold, who had started off the contest really well with a few good attacks. But
yeah, it's Munkaden now that's really starting to dominate. That's going to score. Well, it's got a Wazari there. I thought Yuko, and I know Sheldon did there. Sheldon doing the, we're refereeing here as well.
I thought it was Yuko, and he's just changed it. Oh,
so he has changed it.
Well, I've got to get that badge.
So a Yuko given there.
You watch, we're sitting a few feet away from the referees.
Yeah, we are. We're going to be in trouble if we're not careful.
When Anto walks off, he's going to have a look at me because he knows that we'll be talking about it. It's just Wazari, a Yuko no score. For me, those are very, very tiny things. It's when someone gives Ippon and there is no score. There's a complete misunderstanding of what's happened.
I agree. Yeah.
Or they give Wazari, and it goes to the other player, and it's not a scoreboard error. They genuinely feel that it was, those sorts of misunderstandings we hope to avoid, and that's why we've got this, refereeing commission who have almost eradicated, the major blunders. Very, very rarely do you see something that you say that one shouldn't have happened. The replay system works well.
It
was coming, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
4 or 5
Brilliant
efforts
stuff.
up over there.
Munkaden, massive Oguruma. Second one we saw one just previously from Park.
Strong, wasn't it?
Yeah, very strong. Arm over the back. It looked almost exactly the same.
Well, we look forward to seeing a little bit more of Munkaden. I don't know if she can come up with techniques like that, depending on how old she is and how long she's going to stick around and wave to the crowd. Why not? Say hello to your fans. Let's have a look at some of the highlights, and then we'll be back with the final.
Yeah, certainly it was Gambold that started the techniques off, but it was definitely Munkaden that finished it off there with that massive Oguruma. Surigoshi grip over the back again, just that starts it off, and she did run onto it, didn't she? She ran onto it. Beautiful technique. Munkaden of Mongolia gets the bronze.
She's 25 already, so this is obviously one of those fighters who was 5, 6 or 7 on their ranking list. A few are out taking a rest. Klemdad is here, but the others are out taking a rest, and she's got a chance. She's taken it by taking a medal here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think she has. We'll see her again. Sure we will. I'll
I'll talk about the record a bit later. Right, Purev Jagl Khamded is up against Brigitte Matic. It's Purev Jagl in the white judogi, Matic in blue. So there's that 9-year age difference I was talking about.
Yes, she's one of the more experienced, and like you said, coming back after having a baby, and she looks pretty determined. She looked pretty good. Every contest is a bonus for her today. Every second that she's on the mat is preparing her for the Olympic Games.
Jean-Jacques Rusko is the referee in the middle for this one. I'm just taking a quick look at the record from Munk Erdener, and she just won her first contest. She lost every single contest that she's ever had when she's been representing Mongolia. Every single one. I've never seen a record like it.
That's Munk Erdener.
Yeah, Munk Erdener. That was the first contest that she's won.
Right.
Everyone else lost. A whole long line of them. Purev Jagl in the white judogi. Matic in blue. Let's see how the youngster copes with the more experienced and possibly physically more domineering Mongolian.
Straight in for the shimiwaza, that's what it is. Woo. That was almost all over before it even began.
Just slipped off that. I don't know how much she knew about it, or whether it was just Purev Jagl's hand slipping.
This is the younger sister, isn't it? The Matic sisters.
Brigitte this one, Barbara.
She's going to get penalised for that, Purev Jagl. She does cross grip a lot, and she keeps the hand over the wrong side of the jacket too long. It just is too long. Referees are not hot on it here, and they could be. That's going to go into the hold down. Purev Jagl gets the hold, and Matic just manages to turn out. Well, you were on about the power, weren't you? Sheer power, and it's the mature power. I think that's what we're trying to say, isn't it?
Yeah. Trained and developed strength that Matic is going to acquire over the next year or two. By the time she comes to 22 or 23, the height and the shape on her, she'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, so many people talk about this core strength, and actually what core strength is, it's that little bit of strength that comes from within. And it's that natural strength as well. My grandfather had it, passed it on to my dad. Kind of passed on to me as well. I was lucky with that.
And it's the awareness of how to use that.
And how to use it, because obviously if it's trained in the right way. And Purev Jagl, you can see that she's very cool, calm and collected. Every one of her contests knows what she wants. Very confident. She's confident that she's going to win this match. She looks it anyway.
Her husband is her training partner.
Well, of course he is.
Sanjagol. Sanjagol Niamacha. He's up in the stands with the baby. Saw him earlier on. He said he couldn't come earlier because he was tired after watching the World Cup football last night.
Did he watch it? Did he?
Well, early this morning.
Well, Matic is very awkward as well. Matic is going right and left with her grips.
There's that grip that you were talking about.
Yeah. That's going to score. Yuko scored. Ouchigari, is she going to turn the Yushiro Kesagatami on? Needs to. Well, she's very awkward, Matic. Not easy to hold down. That second one she's got out of. Change to a Wazari, that Ouchi score.
That is the sister in the middle of the shot. There. Barbara shouting out some instructions.
So Wazari down. She's got to come forward. It's going to be all over. Too strong. Purev Jagl was too strong for her. Matic came forwards. That big arm came over the top again. Very disappointed, the two girls there.
I think they're having a laugh now.
I think so, yeah.
You know, you can't take anything away from the Croatians who came. They sent 3 fighters. Barbara Matic picked up a bronze. Tina Sekic, the blonde girl that you saw next to Matic, she picked up a bronze. And now Brigitte Matic has picked up a silver. They're 3 for 3.
3 medals, 3 people. Yeah, job done.
And what I meant about the strength, I mean, she threw it with nice techniques. They weren't sort of power techniques, but she overpowered her in order to be able to carry out those techniques. She couldn't stop her from getting close enough in to come up with those techniques.
No, I agree with you. And she just gave that up, didn't she? They're both of them going over the top there. And then 180-degree rotation. Purajagel wraps up that arm. That's why they do the cross grip. It's to wrap up the arm. Ale Makikomi. Then into the Ushiro. Didn't need the Ushiro. Cleanly onto her back.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, we've got the awarding ceremony in the under 90 kilo category coming up now. Let's go down to the far end of the competition hall and have a look at that awarding ceremony. Bronze medals go to Eri Hemubatu of China and to Firudin Dadashov of Azerbaijan. There's Eri Hemubatu taking his medal. Dadashov now with his. Silver medal goes to Gantulga and Altan Bagana of Mongolia. But it's his teammate who steps up to take the gold medal in the under 90 kilo category, Klagvasuren Otganbatar. So we've seen the first 2 categories, and already there's been a little bit in there, just to make it, it interesting.
Yeah, a lot of action.
We've got a little bit of polishing off to do. We've got the under 100 kilo category, the plus 78, and then the plus 100. And normally, we'll get a good finish here. So let's hope that comes up. And now the national anthem of Mongolia. We should let everybody at home know that it's not, the biggest tournament this time round. However, I'm surprised at the quality. We've seen some quality judo.
Some fantastic stuff, absolutely. It's just been amazing. The standard of judo, the level has been great.
I was concerned, when I was coming in thinking, the numbers aren't good, and we'll have to make something of the product, and we don't have to. It does it itself. It's done a good job. We've had 2 good days of judo. Here's day 3, and we've got some attractive judo. It's interesting, nice matchups. People really going for it, and that's despite the fact that they're out of that Olympic loop at the moment. It's that the very, very first one.
This is it.
Right, we come now to the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 100 kilo category. Two fighters are primed and ready. And the first of the bronze medal matches features Na Ritsu of China. He's up against Bayasaikan Ambelasama. There's an illustration of that relationship between China and Inner Mongolia. The coach that's stepping out now in London 2012 was coaching for Mongolia. Now he's coaching for China. It comes from that part there that Neil mentioned earlier on.
Yes, very similar body type and look.
Right, now in the white judogi, Bayasaikan, beg your pardon, in blue.
Yeah, it was Nasaikan that had to come back. Narisu, sorry, that had to come back into the repechage. Bayasaikan of Mongolia lost in the semi-final. Kotsiev of Azerbaijan beat him. Got that kind of confident look by Saiken. It's one of those that sits and waits.
Well, he didn't have to do a great deal with that one. No, hardly moved by Saiken. He felt that one coming almost immediately.
Yeah, well, you could see he just braced against it, didn't he? Once that arm round the back again.
Saiken has just picked up a Shido. That was out of our shot. He must have picked that up for a passivity penalty, I assume.
Well, they've got to attack, don't forget, every 20 to 30 seconds, but a lot of that is discretion to the referee, depending on how they see the match. So it can go a lot longer. It can go up to 45 seconds.
Yeah, if they're positive and they're looking for an opening and no one's stalling, and the posture's right.
Yeah, well, at the beginning it was a little bit silly, wasn't it? They introduced this new rule that you've got to attack within every, I think it was 15 to 20 seconds, and there were too many Shidos, so that got a bit ridiculous. So they've kind of evened out now, but there are still some differences as to when they call the passivity and give a Shido penalty for not attacking.
Little over 3 minutes left to go. Just a single Shido against Bayasaikan. Na hasn't done a great deal. It's just that he's done a little bit more than Bayasaikan. That's it. That's just that single Shido on the board there.
Yeah, well, quite often the referees will initiate more attacking by giving one or the other a passivity in the hope that they'll attack. That was a nice Uchimata attempt there from Na.
Yeah, Bayasaikan attempted the Sutemiwaza as a counter. No, this just fell on top of him, but there was no control, so there was no question of him coming up with a score.
Well, it's tight, isn't it, this?
Yeah.
Just over halfway. Neither one of them must feel the danger out there, both of them.
They exchanged foot taps there just to try and calm themselves down whilst they prime themselves for the next attack.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for the line in. But nice. But Saiken doing the left Uchimata. Na coming in right.
Question now is who's going to get the more desperate of the two and attempt something, either to come up with a score or fail and get countered. That's what it's got, that feel about it, something you
Yeah,
want to give here.
I think Bayasaikan just realises that he's got to step it up a little bit, get on the pace.
Bayasaikan was straight back at him there.
Looking for the Kosoto this time. Something's going to happen. No, he went on his elbow. Top part of the body, remember, has to make contact with the mat. When you see this back in slow motion, you'll see that he lands on his elbow. Did he give the score?
No, they gave a penalty against Na for passivity.
Wazari.
We'll catch that on the replay.
Yeah, I was going to say, just
and there's the Osai-kami as well.
Yeah, it's all over now, bar the shouting.
That took the stuffing out of him, that single Shido. As soon as he got that,
he was pushing forwards all the time, wasn't he?
Bayasaikan came up with the score, and then the Osai-kami as well. 15 seconds was all that was needed to finish it off. Bayasaikan sticks around to give him a little bit of a helping hand. No, doesn't need it. So as he can make it on his own, and disappointment for he's missing out on that bronze medal there.
There was the Wazari. Hand assisted, wasn't it, really? It was a bit of a mistake, I think,
slip.
from No, it was a slip.
Well, we were talking about somebody making a mistake, you know. Had to happen. Things were getting that little bit too tight. Time was running off the clock. Someone was going to do something, as Neil was saying.
I think as well, when people commit, then it opens the game up. They're going toe-to-toe, and it offers opportunities. So certainly Na was attacking, and it was Bayasaikan of Mongolia that took advantage of it, didn't he? Took advantage, went down, got the Wazari first of all, then the leg came out. Readjustment of balance all over.
Well, we've got a second bronze medal contest in the under 100 kilo coming up next. Te Rigula of China faces Gan Tufshinjagul of Mongolia. It'll be Te in the white judogi and Gan in blue. Two fighters are just about to enter the arena now.
And now the second bronze medal contest for men under 100 kilograms.
There's a look at Te on the left-hand side of your screen. We went down to see him in the warm-up area early, just to make sure about the pronunciation of his name, and
it was pronounced?
Well, Te.
Just
Te. He doesn't speak any English, but there was one of his teammates who speaks good English, and he says whenever you see just those two letters, T-E or H-E, H-E is not he, it's her. There was a girl yesterday, her Hung John, so her, and this is Te.
This is Te, her and Te.
So Te Rigula making his way to the mat. Gan Tufshinjagul is his
I always
opponent.
like it when her and Te's
Yeah.
fighting.
There's Gan.
So Te Rigula of China against Ganti of Mongolia. Te is in white.
I suppose Gan's nickname as well is Tufshi, a little bit like Tufshinbaya. This one is Tufshinjagul.
Set for the left Uchimata there, that's what he's looking for straight away, Te. Five-minute contests. Trying to dominate the sleeve, both of them. Right against left makes it difficult sometimes. As you're trying to get hold of the sleeve, trying to control it. But of course the other person as well, trying to do the same. Now he's got it. Gan actually that's dominating the sleeve at the moment. Needs to attack off it.
Yeah, Gan Tufchenjagel had moved up from 90 to 100. He previously fought at 90 kilos. So he's slightly out of his depth here.
Sometimes it makes such a difference, doesn't it? That extra bit of weight. Sometimes some of them handle it very, very well. A lot better than others. So managed to fight 2 categories quite comfortably.
Yeah, he's to be honest, he's been struggling with his weight because he fought at under 81 kilos in 2011 at the World Championships in Paris. So a short time after that, we went up to 90, and now he's there at 100. So, 3 weight categories within a 4 or 5 year period. That's plenty, to be honest. That's plenty, especially from 81 to under 100.
Well, he certainly doesn't want to go up to plus 100,
no.
does he? I mean, that's... Well, it's pretty even, this, isn't it? Just 1 penalty to Ter.
And I mean, I've said about him taking the medal. That's when I remember him taking the medal in Paris. But I've now just looked at his record, and he fought at under 81 kilos at this competition 2 years ago.
Wow.
2 years ago.
So he's gone up 2 weight categories since.
And then he fought 90 last year and is 100 this year. I mean, where's he going?
You never know.
I'll have a word with him when I see him. So, Mum's taking care of you, or did you just get married and there's plenty of food on the table? Because he's certainly whacking it on.
Penalty each now. Well, trying to dominate the head here, pull the head in. He needs to take advantage of it. They're scared of the Sakeshi. What happens is if you've got a right against left, you've got to watch out for just the slip of the hips, and they use the hands then to rotate you onto your back. It really is. It's your own momentum that throws yourself.
Whoop.
Drops Chinggis this time.
There was a better effort there. You saw some movement reminiscent of when he was a few kilos lighter there. Got his body moving with some speed.
That's the difficulty, is when you change your weight, you've got to cope with the difference in the balance of the techniques, because you've got a different body mass, different height, different body mass, totally different power. So you've got to adapt.
Speaking of power, just overpowered Gan there. He went to ground.
Another Chinggis there, and now Ter is going to get another penalty. There it is. Just the work rate there of Gan.
As ever, the crowd right up with exactly what's happening. They know the state of the contest inside the last minute now, and every second that Gan Tufchenjagel can spend down there, he'll be happy to. 40 odd seconds left to go.
Yeah, Gan absolutely now just going to block out. Last 41 seconds. Can't afford to block out too much. He needs to still look active. Has he got a pistol grip there? I can kind of see a pistol grip on the end of the sleeve. Not penalising that at the moment, actually. I think that's one of the things they'll have to review, because it can cut off the blood supply. So Ter going forwards. 7 seconds left.
50 seconds, Neil, he had before. He comes up with one little foot tap. 50 seconds. You have to do more than that.
Absolutely, you have. They're not giving too much for passivity at the moment. And he's definitely been running for ages.
I mean, it was ugly at the end. So lucky to avoid not picking up another penalty, Khan Tufshinjagul, because he turned his body away. He was, hiding one side. He's lucky to avoid picking up a second penalty and taking it into golden score. Khan Tufshinjagul of Mongolia takes the second of the bronze medals in the under 100 kilo category. A fifth place finish for the Chinese Te Rigula.
This is the second medal for Khan Tufshinjagul Mongolia Grand-Prix.
Well, they're saying second medal in a Grand Prix, but it certainly wasn't at minus 100 kilograms. Was it? I think the last one you're saying is at 81 kilograms.
Yeah, this is his first run out at under 100s anyway. He's been around and about, but he's not one of their top boys. 81 is different, he was down at 81, that was different. Right, we come now to the final of the under 100 kilo category. Dashdalam Ishdorj of Mongolia faces Zelim Kotsoyev of Azerbaijan. It's Dashdalam in white, Kotsoyev in blue.
Kotseyev, I think, is very tall, actually. If I remember rightly, he's quite rangy.
Yes, I like that description, rangy. It's long limbs, and most of the time we're being, we're trying to be nice because, the next step up from that is gangly, isn't it? What did he have in his first round? I seem to think that he had his hands full.
Yeah, he had Ulaanbaatar of Mongolia.
Finished him off. And Bayasaikan.
So here we go. Kotseyev then in blue. Dashdalam in white. And I've got a funny feeling that we're going to see an Ippon here. Just a thing about posturing and just the way that they're coming out here.
Well, when they've got enough mat area to work in, I think Kotsoyev isn't going to be as keen to stay on the ground, because Dashdalam quite clearly is interested in Nevaza. Kotsoyev, well, we don't know yet because that was the first exchange, so he could end up being a Nevaza specialist, but he was at a disadvantage there, so he was quite happy that the referee called mate.
Yeah, both looking for the same technique here. It's big Surigoshi techniques, big hips, big right arm over the top. Look at that.
He just lost control there.
Yeah, I think they both got to stay on the pace. Both of them, that's it. Kept hold of the sleeve this time, didn't he? Wazari scored. Surigoshi again. And the Russian just needed to keep control of it. So he did keep control of it. Strong technique that was. Kotseyev then ahead.
He did, against a brick wall.
Talk about action-reaction there. He really got the reaction. That's amazing, isn't it? Hips almost go too far through with that.
I'm not entirely convinced about Dashdalam's fitness. If he can take Kotsalev the distance, I think he's got a good chance. You know, the lower fighters are not known for their conditioning. You get that a lot when you go further and further up the ranks and you come into squads, and that forms part of your preparatory work as well. And the Azeris have got Peter Seisenbacher coaching them, so you know the fitness regime is going to be full on there, and you've noticed that with a lot of the fighters from Azerbaijan.
And also the Nawaz is getting better as well.
Fitness and Nawaz up. But whether Kotsariev has been able to take advantage of that setup as yet, I don't know.
Got Sianagi, Dashdalam.
See, we're only just at halfway.
Yeah, it's a lot of breaks, isn't there? There are a lot of breaks in the actual contest, a lot of mates, and you're right, you know, whether he's got the condition or not. Soto Makikomi was what Kotsiev scored with. I'm trying to think who he reminded me of, and of course it's Lipitiliani, you know, with that elbow that goes up into the air there. It looks very, very similar.
Yeah, and when it goes up, it almost looks redundant. It looks as though, you know, what's it doing there?
No, but it goes in the wrong way. I mean, I was always taught to keep the elbow down and to get the thumb directing for the Suruti hand, and certainly for the direction, calling my Suruti hand the direction hand. But the Georgians and Kotsiev here are doing it differently. And it's interesting that I saw a training tape, coaching tape with Lipitiliani teaching the Uchimata that he does, and he teaches it with the elbow up. It's everything that you'd probably not teach as far as the elbow is concerned, but he gets fantastic pulling action with it. And Kutsiev the same. That's the second one, isn't it? Dashladam there getting right the way underneath him.
And you know, you're going to see how quickly he gets back up, how much energy he's got when he returns to the start point, whether he comes up with an attack, you know, first himself. All of those things are going to give you a good indication of just how much he's got left in the tank.
Yeah, still going for it. He's got to be careful of that, though, I'm telling you, because if he readjusts that, it's only an eighth of an inch away. There's the Sianagi Koichi. They're all doing it. So it must be something they're training, the Mongolians.
The bad news for Dashdalam, however, he's got to have a look at his own tank and see what he's got left in his. It's all well and good looking at your opponents, but how much have you got left?
That was close. I think that he was very close to grabbing the leg there. Just for the people that don't know, we're not allowed to grab the legs, not even attack, defence, counter-attack. We can't touch the legs unless we're on the floor, and then if we're both in groundwork, then we can touch the legs. He's definitely breathing heavy here. Kotsiev has got to hold on for another minute.
You know, he wants to be up and out of there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, he really does.
He let go, all the Mongolian crowd.
Everybody's saying it. Yeah. We're just having a smile here because we've got people in the crowd here saying that he definitely touched the leg there, Kotsiev. He was given the benefit of the doubt, but it could have been Honsokamaki.
Now, unless he's sure about this arm lock, I'd give this up.
Well, yeah, I mean, Kotsiev here is... he might be, though.
Right, well, at 30 seconds now, you give it a go. Yeah, offside
coming. The outside coming.
Oh, he's let it go. I can't. Look at his face.
Well, his face said it all, didn't it?
Begging there, didn't it?
His face said, I've just let it go here. 21 seconds. Not enough for 2 penalties. Not enough time.
Got to throw him now.
Soto Makikomi again there from Kotsiev.
Good little tussle, this one. One more roll of the dice for Dashdalam. Got to go for it here. Can't let him flop. That was it. At least he tried to get, the first attack in. Just got away from him. And credit to Kotsoyev, whose conditioning was under question, or certainly I was questioning
suspect,
whether he had
yes.
it. But he managed to stay on his feet to the end. He picked up a couple of penalties, but there wasn't anything ugly and running and dropping. He gave a good account of himself, and Dashdalam just couldn't throw him.
I think a little bit fortunate with the leg grab. I think that's
that
probably one
was
of the
definitely under the belt. Kotsoyev of Azerbaijan gets them on the board. See, we also saw it in slow motion, and with the movement going on and it happening so quickly. Maybe he just sneaks away with that one. Well, after every final, we've got an awarding ceremony, and we've got one coming up now. It will be the women in the under 78 kilo category after these highlights.
Soda Makakomi it was, had good grips, almost made a mistake on the ground there. So not traditional hand holds or hand grips. Managed to keep control of it on the way down though. Look at the elbow. Look at the readjustment there for the Soda Makakomi. The hips are almost, well they are, they're too far through, absolutely for sure. That was enough though to win him the gold medal.
Speaking of medals, we've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 78 kilo category.
President of the Mongolian Judo Association, Mr.
Batulga Khaltma is making the medal presentations. President of the Mongolian Judo Association. And the bronze medal goes to Park Yoo-jin of Korea. And to Munk Erdana Uganjaklo, who got a first win today. That's quality. Silver medal goes to a spirited and youthful Brigitte Matic. The gold medal goes to Purevjagul Khlamded of Mongolia.
Arden Bagdazarov handing the flowers out, and an Olympic silver medalist himself.
He's put on some weight as well, isn't he? The big man.
Beautiful. Harai Makakomi finished this one off against Matic, directly into the Yushiro Katagatami.
And now the national anthem of Mongolia. She'd love to be singing that next month.
Absolutely, yeah, that's the one to do it if you're going to do it, isn't it? The Olympic Games coming up, very, very close. Some of these fighters using this as final preparation. Just a confirmation there of the medals. Jagal of Mongolia gets the gold there, and she'll be going to the Olympic Games, of course. Bridget Matic the silver, and Jugin of Korea. Park Jujin of Korea, gets the bronze, as does Monk Eden of Mongolia.
We've got the first of the bronze medal matches in the plus 78 kilo category now. Ishihashi Suzuka of Japan faces Ekaterina Sheremetova of Russia. It's Ishihashi in the white judogi, Sheremetova in blue. Oh, we got Ganbold Nyamtsov of Mongolia in the middle for this one. Ichihashi in white, Sheremetova in blue.
Ichihashi made a big mistake against Ortiz in the first round. Just kind of kept her neck up a little bit. Either that or it was Ortiz just putting a wedge right underneath there to catch the shimmy-waza, but anyway, strangled her for the submission. Ortiz, the Olympic champion, already through to the final, of course, against Odku of Mongolia.
Yeah, it'll be a plucky Odku Javsma to come out against Ortiz. We'll see that in a few minutes.
We will, indeed. Sheremetova then in blue. Well, all of the Japanese fighters have got good feet. They use the ashiwaza to great effect. They're going to have to grip up. They will have to put two hands on. Actually, you don't normally have that much trouble with that in the heavyweight division. Just about putting the attack in as well once you've got the grip. Well, I think that Ishihashi is going to do the Sasai on Sheremetova, and then she's going to go across for the Haro Mekakomi. That's the way I see it working.
Well, Sheremetova isn't helped there by picking up that passivity penalty. Just a nod from the referee to her. Hey, you need to pick it up a little bit here. Single Shido against the Russian is the only blemish on the board at the moment, and 2.5 minutes left to go.
There's the Sasai. Ah, look at that. Sasai was enough. Just a Yuko scored. Was Ari scored, actually. So just got to hold her for 15 seconds, and it is all over. Absolutely. Well, I thought she was going to go for the Sasai and then across to the other side, but she didn't need to do it, did she?
No, it was enough there, and Ichihashi's got incredible power on the ground. I've seen her a couple of times when she's held people, just immovable.
Seventh medal for Japan, when you consider that this is not anywhere near their strongest team that they've put out here.
And they only sent 7.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Everyone's medalled. And it was good that they came to support the event as well. Sent a full team of women here. Made for nice competition.
Well, I think you're right as well. I think this time next year, it's going to be back to its full strength, this competition. That was the Sasai. Look at that. Sasai to Sudakumiyash and directly in to the Munigatami there.
She didn't hear you. You did say that was on its way.
I did say that. It was was the two techniques that she was doing, and one of them had to work. So nice technique there. Good feet again by the Japanese.
And now the second bronze medal contest for women.
Right, the second of the bronze medal contests coming up now. Li Nan of China faces Batolga Munktia of Mongolia. It's Li in the white judogi, Batolga in blue.
And now please welcome the athletes.
Referee in the middle for this one, Jong Young-jeon of Korea.
Li Nan, China in white. Chinese heavyweights just not having it all their own way, I was going to say. They've got a world number 1 and a world number 3. And Sheldon is, oh, sorry, I thought you were looking there, Sheldon, for the world rankings there of Li Nan, but I don't think she had a world ranking.
Yeah, I was looking at the world ranking for Ishihashi, actually, the Japanese, because I know I've seen her before. But at the same time, I will have a look at Li Nan, see if we can unearth something about her.
Well, these two got to go for it as well. They have to grip up, use the grip that they have. Of course, this judogi that we wear is very important to our strategy of attacking. A lot of them grabbing the sleeves. Sleeves are bigger now. That they've allowed for the sleeves to be that bit bigger. At one stage in the 1980s, sleeves were virtually up to the elbows.
Well, a couple of years ago, Li Nan was down at 78 kilos. So she's moved up a bit since then. Let's look at Batolga facing us in blue. It's Li with her back to us, so putting a little bit more weight than she had originally expected, because she's a good few kilos over that now, obviously.
Yeah, fights like a 78 kilo player as well.
97. She hasn't quite, it's not a great deal. 10 kilos, and she carries it, reasonably well.
Like I say, she's moving well as well. So it's moving like a 78 kilo fighter. Coming up to the last 2 minutes. This still no score, 1 penalty. That's going to be a score though. Batolga scores. Nice Kouchi, and she turns it into the hold down. Come here, she said, you're not going away anywhere. Just pulls her in. Not going to let go of that either, Batolga. Crowd love it, of course they do. Just what you'd expect.
They enjoyed that, didn't they?
Batolga Munktia then of Mongolia wins the bronze there. Nice transition through into groundwork.
Just finishing off on Ishihashi, the Japanese, in the first of the bronze medal contest. We had seen her quite a lot ever since 2010. She'd been out in Qingdao, fought here in Ulaanbaatar in 2013, Jeju. She's been around a little bit. So a good win for Batolga.
Yeah, look
to
at that.
come up
Nice
with
change
bronze.
of direction there. That Koichi again. All of them doing this. Every one of them doing pull for the Seoinage, change of direction into the Koichi. Doesn't let go of that sleeve, not for a second. Just pulls her over onto her back. Kazure Kesagatami, you could say. There's the pull. There's the change of direction. Yuko scored. And then never let go of that sleeve. Not for 1 second did she let go.
Coming up next, the final of the plus 78 kilo category. Idalis Ortiz of Cuba faces Odku Javsma of Mongolia. It'll be Ortiz in the white judogi, Odku in blue, and she's one of the only Mongolians who heads her home weight category that's not going to the Olympics. They just haven't been able to do it at the in the plus 78 kilo category.
Well, you can see there, I mean, she's world ranked 36, so she's pretty high up there.
Yeah,
but I
it's
mean,
a good one,
it was for automatic qualification. Of course, it was you had to get in top 14, and then you have, of course, continental qualification. After that, she didn't even make the continental qualification, so a bit of a shame for her. She's fighting the Olympic champion and the world number 1, Idalis Ortiz of Cuba. Here she is.
I mean, there's no one near her in Mongolia. None of her teammates. She's got 377 points, and the closest one, Batolga Munktuya, who we saw take that bronze. That was her first win. She's got 5 points. I mean, just non-existent. The plus 78 kilo category. This is their only hope. Odku Javsma, and maybe the second cycle for her will be successful. I mean, she's all right, 26 now, 30. There's no one else coming. You might
but
as well
it's heavyweight division as well. So
stay around for a little longer.
Of course you can.
Here we go then. Ortiz in the white judogi, Odku in blue, and here's Neil with the commentary on this one.
Yeah, Ortiz has some nice drop Seoinages. When she wants to attack, she can really attack well. Obviously, her record shows that. Just 24 years of age, and she's won so much. World and Olympic champion. She'll go onto the sleeve, and then she'll do that drop Sorisuru Kamigashi that so many of the Cubans do. Well, that only went one way, and I think that only went against Odku because they were both of them fighting for grips. Neither one of them have attacked. I just don't get that. But I mean, I think they should give it to both.
Yeah, thinking behind that is that find one of them who you think was worse than the other, or more guilty, I should say, more guilty.
You're just putting it nicely, aren't you?
Single Shido against Odku then.
Yeah, they fought each other once before here. Not here, but they fought on the international circuit once before. Ortiz the winner on that occasion. It's going to be Shido each, is it? No, one goes to Ortiz this time for holding the sleeve.
Well, he gave her the benefit of the doubt the first time round, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. And holding the sleeve without doing that. And that's the point. Got to attack. Yeah, she needed to get her hips further across.
She's a little bit lazy with the feet movement sometimes, you know.
Well, with Ortiz, I always find that when she can be bothered, she can really attack hard, you know, but sometimes just doesn't bother to attack. Hips across now. Oh, goshy.
Second time she's threatened over on that left-hand side. See, there's a shape that you see, and there's a movement of the hips, and she's not quite getting across there.
No, I mean, they all lack that little bit of punch. At the event last week in Budapest, a lot of the fighters, the actual Olympic champions and that had decided to do the event, they lacked the coordination and they lacked that little bit of sharpness that, of course, they're not going to have it in Budapest or here. They're going to have it at the Olympic Games, or hopefully. Not attacked once, Ortiz. Not properly. Saying that, nor's Odku either. One Shido each. It's going to be 2 Shidos each now.
Yeah, poor old Maris in the middle there has got no choice. He doesn't want to give out Shidos. He'd much rather be signalling Ippon, and that's the end of it. But we can only go with what's happening on the mat in front of him. Maybe there'll be a little bit more action now.
It's one of the problems, isn't it? Sometimes, with the heavyweight matches that happen, if they can get into the rhythm of it, then we see some pretty big throws in the heavyweight divisions.
Yeah.
But they've just got to really commit themselves.
Who was that being asked to keep quiet there? The Cuban coach, not for the first time today.
Into the last minute then. 45 seconds left of this final. Uchimata this time. Now then, that's going to be it. Was Ari there for Ortiz? Right the way over. And that was Odku that started that one off, Sheldon.
Yeah. Well, there have been a couple of times when Ortiz hasn't taken advantage of being able to follow up some action that has taken place, but she did there. She did it well, got herself into a good position, overwent Odku. And Ortiz, I think, will be happy with the day's work. She comes away with a medal. She'll get her prize money. It was a difficult trip for the Cubans. They had some travel difficulties. And she ended up with 3 wins.
Well, 3 wins and 4 contests, because one of them went to golden score, and it went a full 4 minutes into golden score.
So
it was an 8-minute contest.
Time on there.
So she has had mat time. And the equivalent of 4 matches. Like you said, what a training run out for the current Olympic champion. She's going to go to the Olympic Games defending that Olympic title.
Just what she needed. And a tough one with that, as you say, the back-to-back with that golden score going for so long.
Well, it's nothing like a test, is there, to go 2 back-to-back, especially at this level. There's the hip movement. Big Ogoshi there. Takes her over, a little look back there just to see if she got the hip on or not, but had to hold her then for 15 seconds on top of the Wazari to get the other Wazari. I thought good decision there. Good decision from the referee. Didn't score the flight, he scored the landing. It was a bit of a roll at the end.
He didn't get conned, did he? It's away from him, he can't see her back. But he realised that this down and then onto the back. So yeah, good man. I'm just saying that Maris was having a good time in the middle there.
Yeah, great sight there. They've got the referee's perspective there. Can't always see where they land.
We've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the plus 78 kilo category now. The bronze medals go to Gan Tufshinjago.
Well, I think we're doing the
under 100 kilo category. Beg your pardon, yeah. Gan Tufshinjago of Mongolia, and to Basaikan Abaselma of Mongolia. There's a 3rd medal for Mongolia that goes to Dashtalam Ishdorj. He picks up silver, but the gold medal goes to Zelim Kotsoyev, who I probably owe an apology to, because I said he was going to run out of steam, but he managed to go the whole distance, and he actually ended up looking pretty good come the end of the contest. And that was a good one. I enjoyed that. Dashtulam and Kotsoyev.
I thought he looked very, very similar to, like I say, to Lipitiliani. Yeah, he had that kind of stamp to it. And the hips too far through, and they seem to make an adjustment there that gets them onto their back.
And now the national anthem of Azerbaijan.
Thank you very much. Now, having a picture with me, Judo.
Just confirmation. Could see if Azerbaijan gets the gold medal. Dashtulam of Mongolia gets the silver. Bayasikian of Mongolia gets the first bronze. And Tavis Shagel of Mongolia gets the other bronze medal.
Coming up next, we've got the bronze medal contest in the plus 100 kilo category. Bolpurev Shugachagel of Mongolia is up against his teammate Erden Bilig Amatufshin. It'll be Bolpurev in the white judogi, Erden Bilig in blue. We got the lightest fighter in the weight category against the heaviest. Erden Bilig weighed in at 116 kilos last night. Bolpurev whacking 185.
Well, I think Erden Bilig realises that he's going to have to stay on his bike here a little bit.
If you at home haven't seen either of these two fighters before, and you're wondering which one is Bolpurev, he's the heavier one in the white judogi.
So Bolpurev, beautiful technique though in the repechage final. It really was. What a tremendous oguruma. So he can throw. He really can.
Erden Bilig is hoping that was a one-off.
Yeah, I think he's kind of half expecting the same to happen here. He's having his sleeve dominated straight away. Just need him to attack. We know he can. Bolpurev trying to set him up for the same situation. So neither one of them attacking at all. The referee needs to just stop it, give them both a Shido, just get them revved up a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's heard you now.
Only one given. Look at that. Erden Bilig Well, I said to you before, I don't understand that. Give them both one. There it is! Oh, well, a total overthrow there. Absolute overthrow. I think it might be a Wazari there. Did he get a Wazari? He got a Yuko for it in the end.
Yeah.
Good though. He didn't score the flight. He did score the landing. That was a good bit of refereeing.
Yeah, it was a big effort. He looked as though he was going to go over, and when he did, he just landed on his side. Dutch referee took his time, gave Yuko.
Yeah, it was a good bit of refereeing because it's not easy. It really isn't. You know, when they're flying through the air, you want to give the big score. Was Harry? Oh, he did change
give
it.
A bigger score. Yeah, I'd still go with the Yuko. Sorry.
It is definitely the grey area, that, isn't it, where they land.
He's gone over
Beautiful
again,
this time, though.
It's all academic now. Whether it was Yuko or Wazari, because he's Bolparev, Sugar Juggle throws him again. He's wondering what's going on, Bolparev. Why have I got to throw him 3 times then?
That's it.
Nice etiquette from Sweets. That's his nickname. Bolparev Sugar Juggle. Well, that was always going to be, no pun intended, a big ask, wasn't it?
It really was.
That was a man mountain that he had to down if he was going to do anything there.
Well, 2 absolute beauties, weren't they? Absolutely. Overthrow, full forward roll out, and then this one just waited for it. Oguruma again. Just a little bit more control this time. And that's 3 of those we've seen from him, so we know he can throw.
Yeah, he's got some stuff. I think the thing that he lacks is, as I said earlier on, a little bit of movement. You know, you want to get some movement from him, wouldn't you?
Well, fully agree with that. Could just with the movement, make all the difference. There's the Ippon. Bolparev, Sugar Juggle. 3 beautiful techniques, 1 in the repechage, 2 in the final. Well, in the repechage final.
Right, we come to the final of the plus 100 kilo category. Neil's got a mass of papers in front of him. I know he's going to get those in orders. But before you hear from him in a wrap-up, we've got the final. Ulzibayar Durenbayar of Mongolia faces his teammate Batulga Timoilin. It'll be Ulzibayar in the white judogi, Batulga in blue.
Well, Batulga, for me, probably favourite, but I don't know. It's all Mongolian, gold and silver medal guaranteed again.
These are the only 2 heavyweights that they send out. I mean, there's just no one else from Mongolia. Batulga, Timoilin and Ulzibayar Durenbayar. So
I wasn't looking at their head-to-heads there. Had they had any head-to-heads in the...
I can have a look for it, yeah. Ulzibayar still, pretty much the youngster there.
Ulzibayar, he's in white, last contest of this whole championships. Batulga in blue. Well, he was straight into the attack there, wasn't he? He was looking straight away for the Kosoto.
Well, as far as our events are concerned, they fought at the Grand Prix in Qingdao in 2014 when Batulga lost to Ulzibayar.
Yeah, Ulzibayar just came out there with full intention of doing that Kosoto. Pushing forwards, Batulga trying to trap him to the edge. Sianagi. Ulaanbaatar now as he landed in the shimiwaza. Thought he had for a second. Nice shot of the youngsters there in the crowd, just enjoying this. Third attack there from Ulaanbaatar.
Batolga is the man in the driving seat at the moment. I think the future is Ulaanbaatar. He's beaten Batolga once, but the future is Ulaanbaatar. For the time being, Batolga, as I say, is in the driving seat. He's the one who's qualified and will be going to Rio.
Well, can you imagine what that will mean to Ulaanbaatar if he beats him here? Just takes makes a little statement, doesn't it?
Yeah, an important one, I think.
Well, an important one, but then on the other side of that, it's not about... They're not going to send... If you've got two heavyweights, and even if one beats the other one, it's the one that you've got hope of a medal from at the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games, very different. Very different event. You send the one that you think is going to do the best.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to happen here? Looking for the pickup, Batolga.
Single Shido against Batolga. There's plenty of time. I get the feeling that he's just settling down. He doesn't want to make a slip. He definitely doesn't want to lose out to Ulaanbaatar again. Not on the IJF circuit. He may have been turned over, in training camps here or in their national championships or something like that. But
yeah, well, they definitely look a little bit tense there.
Sanjagol can't look.
Sanjagol up there, and
he's got his hand over his face.
Big arm over the top there from Batolga. And that's going to be a penalty. Ulaanbaatar will get a penalty for that. He just drifted outside of the area. And that was really a basic technique, basic mistake, wasn't it? They didn't need to do that.
He wasn't under any real threat, was he?
No, none. I can honestly say that neither one of them looks like they're going to throw the other one for Ippon. One Shido each, coming into the last 2 minutes.
Ulaanbaatar may pick up another one here, flirting with the area. Yep. I mean, there's no need.
Well, no, I mean, this is real basic stuff at this level. You don't just walk outside of the area. We know certain fighters kind of flirt with it and like to go towards the edge of the area so they can attack on the edge of the area rather than the middle. But now they've got to give penalties for it.
Jan Schneiders is always keen to point out to the coaches, to inform the fighters to fight in the middle of the tatami. Take a grip and fight in the middle of the tatami. A third penalty picked up by Ulaanbaatar there. This is going south, isn't it, for him?
It is. It's just gone away from him. I don't know why. He started off so strong and looked to me as if he might steal this match, but, well, not now. Ulaanbaatar, 3 penalties down. Batolga now realises he's just got to block out, but 1 minute 24. Can't afford just to block out for the whole of that 1 minute 24.
I would like to see Batolga go for it here. At least put in a couple of attempts at some waza. I haven't seen anything from him.
Well, quite often we see it end with an Ippon, don't we? It'd be nice to end in an Ippon here.
Yeah, well, Ulaanbaatar might claim that he had something to do with that, but that was Batolga initiating the Sutemi waza, and then Ulaanbaatar fancying, claiming that he ended up, well, he did end up on top, but it had nothing to do with him. Inside the last minute, then.
The last minute of the tournament. 2 medal ceremonies still to do after this. So don't go away, everybody out there. This really is a blocking out and nullifying each other's skills here. You can see that they fight each other a lot, they train together a lot. Well, he's got to do something straight away. Ultibayar had a cross grip.
Chance with the shimmy was up or not? Yeah, rolled him. Oh, missed out on the Osaikomi chance.
Yeah, it was very close, wasn't it?
Has
Now
it
he
gone
might just
completely?
get
It's
it.
gone now.
Yes,
yeah, now it's gone. You can see it on his face.
Yeah. So Batulga turns him into the Osaikomi and wins it by ippon. So we did have an ippon in the end. It was a little trickle tap submission there.
He wasn't sticking around, was he, to be held for 20 seconds by Batulga. Once he realised that he wasn't going to get out, he decided to tap out. There's a big debate about whether you should tap out from an Osaikomi or whether you should struggle for the whole time. I tend to go for the struggle for the whole time. Well, used to anyway. Batulga Temolin of Mongolia takes the plus 100 kilo category gold medal from his teammate Ultibayar Durenba. Slightly disappointing.
Yeah, slightly disappointing end, wasn't it? We could have done with something a bit more exciting than that. We're going to see the turnover into the Osaikomi. I think Mongolia might just have edged the medal tally at the end of this 3 days of competition. 8 gold medals, 10 silvers and 10 bronze medals out of their squad. So that's what started it, Sheldon. The shimiwaza started it. Then he wraps up the arm, and he wraps up the arm, just turns them onto their back there. Batulga manages to hold Ultibayar. Ultibayar, just look at the fingers here. Nice little tap up there for the submission.
Right, we've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the plus 78 kilo category now. The bronze medals go to Ichihashi Suzuka of Japan and to Batulga Munktuya of Mongolia. Silver medal goes to Odku Jadzma of Mongolia, but the gold medal goes to the double world champion and current Olympic champion Idalis Ortiz of Cuba.
Yeah, job well done by Ortiz.
Got what she wanted, didn't she?
Yeah, got exactly what she wanted. It's all going according to plan. Preparation. Talk about a preparation event. Couldn't be better for her. 4 contests. Only 3 fights, but the equivalent of 4 contests. One of her contests lasting a full 8 minutes. And then that to finish it off. Odku couldn't do anything to stop it. Big Ogoshi there, scores a Wazari, and then into the hold.
And now the national anthem of Cuba. Watching the soldiers there, that little boy saluting.
That's nice. Confirmation, the double world champion, Olympic champion, Idalis Ortiz, Cuba gets the gold medal. Odku Jadzma of Mongolia gets the silver. And Teihashi Suzuka of Japan gets one of the bronzes, as does Batulga Munktuya of Mongolia. Well, just to fill a little bit of time in here while we wait for the final medal tally. Mongolia, 28 medals out of their 56 man-woman squad, 8 golds, 10 silvers and 10 bronze medals. Russia, Azerbaijan, Japan and Cuba took the other gold medals. Japan came second in the medals in the end. They had 2 golds, a silver and 4 bronzes. And it was Russia, Azerbaijan and Cuba with 1 gold medal each. But Azerbaijan came third with the gold and 3 bronzes. So overall, not a vast amount of countries in this event, and the reason being we've got the Olympics very, very close. This time next year it will be one of the major events, as Sheldon pointed out, as preparation for the World Championships, which will follow it.
Which will be held in Budapest.
Yes.
In 2017. So those of you interested in getting down there to see that attractive city, terrific venue, absolutely terrific venue. We were there just a week or so ago and really enjoyed that. They staged the 2009 Cadet World Championships.
Yes, it was an excellent stadium, wasn't it? If I remember rightly.
Enjoyed that. Hotels are nice and close.
Last week. Of course we were.
Yeah. Everything going well there. Right, it looks as though they've got the awarding ceremony in the plus 100 kilo category ready. Let's go and take a look at that. Well, we come now to the last awarding ceremony of the Chinggis Grand-Prix 2016. And the bronze medal goes to Bolpurev Shugajargal of Mongolia. There's the big fella.
Great technique from him. Some 3 beauties, absolutely brilliant.
Silver medal goes to Ulzibaya Durenbaya, also of Mongolia. And the gold medal goes to Batulga Temolin of Mongolia. 3 Mongolians taking the medals there.
Yeah, well, we've seen 3 days of amazing judo and a masterclass of fighting spirit from this Mongolian team. And I've got to say, on behalf of Sheldon and I, we've thoroughly enjoyed being here. We've seen 3 days of amazing stuff. We're going to be back in 2 weeks' time in Tumen, Russia, for the Russian Grand Prix. Until then, from Sheldon and myself, it's goodbye for now.